think about what you get on the app versus what you get on the YouTube, and then decide what is better for you. To us, the membership is the membership. Certain content will stay paid. But what we've done with the app is everything that a pure video platform won't let you do.
The way I've been thinking about it is like, when you're on YouTube, you're watching a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
You may be dabbling in maybe tech, maybe in fitness, maybe in automotive, obviously, if you're here.
Or Bollywood.
Right? Or Bollywood. So you may be dabbling in a lot of content that you're going through. But the reason you should come to the app, if you choose to, is so that you have a deeper dive. And this may be because you're already somebody who's deeply entrenched with automobiles, or who's looking to do more with the automobiles that you have, or you plan to make a more informed decision about the automobiles that you're already living with or planning to get. And for that, on the app, we have created many more spaces for you to explore. One is one-to-one, one-to-many on circles, where you can talk to other people who may be living with those automobiles. You can come and share your experiences. Aside from that is the work that Shumi and I have put in terms of writing, creating videos. There is much more on offer, far more easily available on the app, which we can only do there. It's like the ambience, right? You can order in food or go to the restaurant. The mood is slightly different. And it's better on the app because everything is just far more easily accessible, and there is a lot more available as well.
Yeah, and I would tell you to think about the content on the app from two directions. One is organized content and one is completely new kinds of content, right? YouTube gives you certain ways to organize content. We tried many of those methods. Some of them were slightly effective, others were just not effective. For example, FAQs. You've asked us endlessly for the last 2 years. I can see FAQ number 23, so where's 21 and where's 24? We tried to create the playlists, but the playlists don't surface that easily and it becomes more and more challenging to continue this process. But on the app, because we knew this was a challenge, we built it like that. So if you come to the FAQ section on the app, you'll see the entire FAQ in sequence from number 1 till whatever number it carries forward to. And then we said, maybe this is not all the answers. So therefore, there is something called a guide, which you should check out. At the bottom of the guide is a separate Q&A section that goes into more detail about more common questions, which may not be complicated questions. So in the FAQ, it might be 3 reasons to buy. But in the Q&A, it might be a very simple question saying, if I were to take this thing touring with my family, will they be comfortable or not? Right? And since I brought up guides is what Kartikeya and I have had so much fun writing, but it's also been a lot of work. Yeah. But what the video won't allow you to do is tell the full story of a vehicle. It tells you a part of that story. So, and we try to break up that story as context and first impressions in MotorInc first, then a thorough evaluation in view, then a comparative with something else in balance, all 3 of which are part of the guide. Right? Yeah. And then we broke down the vehicle into a lot more detail in the FAQ, where we're dealing with specifics. Like in the car, we're talking about infotainment and air conditioning and storage spaces and minutiae like that, right? But a guide allows us to pull it all together and put together pros, cons, what do you expect from living with it, plus the FAQs, plus the other video formats and the Q&A section at the end. And then still you have specifications, you have the price, and you can ask an expert.
Correct.
Right? Ask an expert we're deploying as we speak. And what that basically means is at the bottom, there is a button that says ask an expert. That question will come to our team. And then somebody will sit down and answer a question specific to your requirement, which is not a general purpose conversation, which in circles, for example, it can become. You can ask this question in circles too. So you could say, whatever, I like car A. Is it a good car to own? And if you're lucky, somebody in circles who has car A will give you feedback about what works and what doesn't. And other people who don't have car A will also have a chance to pitch in. But if you ask an expert, then somebody who evaluates the cars between the 2 of us and our team will sit down and answer that question specific to your requirement.
Guides, the way we want you to use it is the place that you come and make a decision. Everything that you need to arrive at that decision is available to you there.
Correct.
And if it isn't, like Shumi said, you have access to smaller snippets of information by way of Q&As, or you being able to access us directly to resolve any queries that still remain. So this is something that we just can't do on YouTube because it's not built for that. YouTube is built for playing videos, and we love that we can do that here and spend that time with you here. But there are certain other things which, like we said right at the start, you might be a different kind of user, and therefore being on the app will be far more powerful, far more enjoyable, and far more useful for you. And this is one of those things which will be helpful. And the idea for this is always for us has been, I think, if we could help somebody who's not into cars and bikes come in and make a decision on the basis of just that 5 minutes spent on that one piece over there. Job done.
If you saw this clip, enjoyed it, then I think you should come to the main motoring channel and check out more of this stuff, because otherwise, I don't know, you'll get left behind.